Hi Scorpio, welcome to my channel. My name is Kim. Today, Scorpio, you guys got the comic. Number 26. It could also be like the clown, the comic, the fool. I really heard the clown, and then I was like, wait, I have a card of the clown, and then it came up, the comic. What's interesting about this card is that there's a shadow and there's a light side, right? The comic is someone who can see a situation and kind of try to bring some sort of like comic relief to it, right? But the shadow side of this is like being sarcastic and being super, pessimistic and kind of digging yourself your own hole, right? And just like sitting in there and like wallowing, right? In self-pity. So I think that someone here, this could be you, Scorpio, or someone else, but someone here feels like a clown because I think that there's a situation going on at hand where it was really easy to kind of point the finger at one time, right? And it was really easy to be the one that was, I don't know, I see like a situation has reversed itself, right? Where at one point you were the one pointing the finger. Now you're in the other person's seat. It's kind of like you never know where you're going to be in life, so you can't really judge. And that's what I'm getting with the clown. Like, I think someone feels like a clown because it's like, I never thought I put myself in this situation, and then I did, right? Especially, it's like after you've seen others put themselves in the situation. So I think someone here feels like a clown because it's like, I just never thought I'd be the one in the same situation as this other person, right? It's reminding me of, I guess that's just how life goes, right? You never know what position you're going to be in. It's kind of, when you see someone hungry on the street, give them food because you never know, you know what I mean, what's going to happen tomorrow. So it's kind of, that's kind of the vibe here. It's, you never know, like you really just never know. You never know. You just never know. It could be about anything, to be honest. It could be about a job, a relationship, anything in life. You never know where you're going to be tomorrow. And I feel like that's why you have to be gracious and loving and forgiving every single day, because again, you never know. But I think that's why there's a clown like energy here where it's someone here pointed a finger at someone else and was like, wow, like look at that person. I feel bad for them. Or, that sucks to be in that position. And now they're in that position. Do you know what I'm saying? I kind of feel like this, I was going to say pride. Maybe you have Leo in your chart, but I was gonna say like a proud energy, right? Where it's like, I'll never be in that position. But now you find yourself in that position, so what do? Do you know what I'm saying? And I think the message of the comic is kind of that you don't have to feel any type of way about being in that position now, right? Like, let's just say you have put yourself in a position where you find yourself in a seat that you never thought you'd be in. I think the energy here is to basically laugh at yourself. Like laugh. I maybe the situation's like really grim and it's not something you can really laugh about, but I feel like that's what they're trying to tell you to do, to find comedy, to find happiness, to find like a smile in whatever it is that you're going through right now. Because again, I feel like you never thought you'd be in this position, but you find yourself in it, and it's okay. It's okay, right? I think it's kind of the universe's way of teaching you some sort of lesson, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the breaking of you, right? So that's what I'm getting, Scorpio. So whatever you're going through, don't look at it as the end. Just look at it as a new beginning. And if you're doing something that you just never thought you'd do, or you never thought you'd find yourself in this position, I think it's so that you could learn something, because it's like, oh, I never thought I'd be in that position, right? But they want you to learn something, which is why you're in it right now. So what's the lesson of this position that you're in? So, Scorpio, I feel like this whole reading is about you having to see what someone else saw, or you having to feel what someone else felt. And in that, there's supposed to be some sort of comedy, right? Because it's like, again, they want you to see it as something like that you can laugh about one day, but you're seeing it as, I think, the reverse, right? Because over here we have the Fool in reverse. And when you're seeing it in this way, you're not seeing it for what the lesson is, right? Like I think this is the lesson, or what they want you to see. And it kind of feels like they want you to dig yourself out of that hole, right? It's like you said to someone that you would never do something and then you end up doing it. Then how does that make you feel? Or you said to someone you'd never be in that position ever, and then you put yourself in that position, and now it's kind of like, what the fuck? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, how did I put myself in the same position that I said I'd never be in? Or it's like you told someone you would never do that and then you're doing it. Or you said you'd never be in that position and then you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, I don't want to go for this example, but like you lose something really dear to you, right? Let's just say like you lose your job or something, and you were like, you saw everyone lose their job, and then you were like, man, I'm so glad it's not happening to me. Like, that's never gonna happen to me. And then you lose your job, and you're like, wait, what? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like there's some sort of lesson here that you're supposed to learn. And I feel like it has to do with rejection. Like, I feel like you're being rejected, or you're being at a loss in some area in your life, but they want you to climb out of it. Right? Like, the lesson here is for you to learn how to get yourself out of this the same way that someone else did. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, someone who lost their job and you saw them have to do all this work to get like a new job or to start a new career or whatever, and you were like, damn, I'm so glad that's not happening to me. Then it happens to you and you're like, okay, now what am I supposed to do? Do you know what I'm saying? And I think that's the lesson here. Like, that's what they want you to do, right? With the King of Wands and the Devil, I feel like the lesson here is, are you going to go through the death and rebirth? And I feel like you're having a hard time with it. For whoever this is, you're having a hard time with this, whatever happened in your life, you're having a hard time. Whatever you said, like, that's never going to happen to me, it did happen to you. So now it's like, what are you going to do about that energy? And I feel like there's supposed to be a new opportunity when you get yourself out of this. There's supposed to be something new on the other side of this. But I feel like you're here right now. You're like stuck. You know, you're stuck. I think you might be feeling sorry for yourself. I think you might be feeling, they say the Fool in reverse could be someone who's even drunk. The Fool in reverse could be someone who's very like, let me see what they said again. Hold on. Sarcastic, harsh, brooding, drunk. Yeah. And I think that's the energy you're in right now. It's, again, you're not seeing what a value this is to you. Right? It's kind of like when the divine takes something away from you, you don't understand why, right? You don't understand why. And I think it was really easy for you to to like look at others and see them going through it, but maybe you weren't really apathetic to them. I mean, or empathetic to them, you know what I mean? You just were like, oh, that sucks for them, but that's never gonna happen to me. Do you know what I'm saying? It happened to you, and now you have to like learn how to get yourself out of the situation. And I feel there's a stalling, like there's a, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a wall. Like, you're hitting a wall because I think you're seeing it in the wrong way. You're seeing it the wrong way. You're seeing it as just like the worst thing that could have happened to you. You're not seeing it for what it really is. And what it really is, I think, is to put you onto something new. Right? I'm going to go with the job because I feel like that's the easiest one to explain, but this could be about a relationship. You know, it's like you reject someone and then you move on with your life, and that's why I feel like a lot of it could be, because we have 3 feminines here, so, and then we have this masculine energy, and I feel like this is happening to the masculine because we have the Devil with the 4 of Wands, with the King of Wands. So, and again, with the Knight of Swords, I feel like the Knight of Swords came and took it away, right? Like, the Knight of Swords came and grabbed it, took it away, and now it's like, okay, now what are you gonna do, right? With this death and rebirth, with this new opportunity that you have to start new, what are you gonna do? And I think it could be in a relationship where, you know, you rejected someone and now someone rejects you and you don't know how to deal with it. You know what I mean? There's something here. I feel like there's some sort of justice, to be honest, but I don't know. There's no justice card here, but I do feel like it's supposed to bring you into balance. And yeah, here we have the divine masculine and feminine card into the balancing of this. So this is supposed to bring you some sort of balance. Yeah, and it's like, just as you left someone maybe, right? Now they leave you. Or just as you told someone, you know, get over it, you're going to be fine. Now it's like, okay, now you have to be the one to be okay and figure it out, right? And you're being put in that position, and I think it's really hard for you. What I want to tell you is that the reason this is happening is to bring you clarity, right? The reason this is happening is so that you won't be confused anymore. Like, there's something that this is going to bring you that is going to help with clearing up all options, right? With the Seven of Cups in reverse, it's not that something was taken away from you so that you would have less options, is that something's being taken away from you because you couldn't see the fact that that wasn't the right choice. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you were picking the wrong thing. So I feel like whatever was taken away from you was just done because you were not clear. It reminds me of a career thing. Like, you know, you work so hard to do this one day, you work so hard to be this type of person, and then it doesn't end up working out, and like 10 years later, and you're just like, why is this happening to me? And I think it's because you weren't seeing the signs in the past. You know what I'm saying? And the sign in the past might have been someone else failing, right? Someone else doing, you know, failing. And you were like, well, that's never gonna happen to me. It happens to you, and I was like, what are you gonna do? I think that this was brought to you so that you would not, because wherever you weren't meant to be. You know what I'm saying? The Seven of Cups in reverse is like, wherever you were not meant to be. And now you come to this new, you have this new stage in your life, this new opportunity to do things differently. And I think it's to go towards something that actually means something real to you. But I think you're having a hard time letting it go. You know what I mean? You're having a hard time letting it go. This could be in a relationship. This could be in a job. It could be a person, you know what I mean, that gets taken away from you. You don't really understand why, but what you don't understand is like maybe they were never meant for you, or the person that you rejected, that's the person that you're meant to learn from after you get rejected. Like, there's something here it like feels cyclical. It feels, oh, it happened to you now, right? Now what do you do? I kind of feel like this is in a relationship just because we have all these women here. We have the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Earth in reverse. Maybe, you know, you've just gone through a breakup and you maybe never felt that someone would ever reject you, but then you become, you know, you've always been the one to break up with people, but this person has broken up with you, and now it's like, okay, why, what am I supposed to learn from this? That's what I'm getting with this. It's like, this is supposed to help you out, but you're not seeing that right now, but you will. So just try to find, I hear the silver lining. Yeah, the silver lining. Maybe you should watch Silver Linings. That Silver Linings movie, that shit is hilarious. And also I think that there's something like that in that movie too. There's something about how everything kind of gets taken away from him, but at the end of the day, it's like everything is set right at the same time, but it's through this crazy chaotic energy. And right now I feel you're here in the, I don't know what's going on. Everything is coming out from underneath my feet, and I feel very, very unsteady. And that's how it's meant to be, Scorpio. So yeah, Scorpio, I think you're having a problem with the death and rebirth, but I feel like you're meant to learn. You were meant to learn from someone in the past. And if you can't learn from someone in the past, you're supposed to know that this is all happening for a reason. And I don't think you find it funny at this point, but maybe one day you will, when you find what you're really meant to be doing, or who you're really meant to be with, right? Everything gets put back into its place the right way, and then you see why all the shit ended up happening. Do you know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm getting with this. I'm getting that maybe you don't want to lay to rest what doesn't work for you, so the divine comes in and takes it away anyway. And I just feel like you don't get that, but you will soon. I think it has a lot to do personally with someone else's feelings. I think like you might have, let's just say you were very, very harsh to someone, and then you were like, figure it out. Now someone's really harsh to you and they're like, figure it out. And you're just like, holy shit, you know, how is this coming back to me? And I think that's the whole reason it's supposed to come back to you. Maybe you're meant to feel the way that person felt, but it's for a reason. Let's pull some advice for you. So, Scorpio, this is so, like, it makes sense now. With Lakshmi coming out, the goddess of abundance, I choose to feel abundant. Wealth is an inside job. Whether it's that you lost your job, or whether it's that you are being rejected, or there's a breakup going on, you know, there's something going on that you feel like everything is kind of crumbling down and you don't get why. I'll tell you why. You're not going to want to hear it because I don't feel like you get it yet, but you're going to get it one day. That's what I'm saying. You're not going to get it today. You don't get it right now, but you will one day. And the lesson here, Scorpio, is that when you're doing things out of like an ego thing, or out of, I really want this, I really need this, but you really don't need it, you know what I mean? And what you want is just your ego saying it, but not your soul, right? So your soul wants one thing and your ego wants another thing. Most of the time on this 3D, our ego wins a lot of the time, right? So they took away everything that your ego might have wanted, right? Or they're taking it away, or they're showing you what your ego wanted was not that great, right? It was not actually the best option. So now you're just like confused and stuck because you don't get why that's not the right, you know what I mean? You picked it, you chose it, and you don't understand why your ego, you don't understand that it was your ego that chose it. Do you know what I'm saying? It was not your soul. So they're aligning you with what your soul needs, but you and your soul and your ego are divided right now. And that's why you're headed down a path that you don't understand. But they're taking things away from you to give you the real good shit. But you don't see it like that. You see it as, I picked that, I wanted that, and that was my choice. So give it to me. Do you know what I'm saying? I chose that, so give it to me. And that's same thing with a person, right? If a relationship is collapsing in front of you and you don't understand why, it's like it wasn't meant for you. Your ego chose that person, not your soul. Your soul is not being fed at all by that person, but your ego was. Maybe that person's really good looking. Maybe that person has a lot of money. That has nothing to do with the soul. Same thing with a job. Maybe that job looks really good on paper. Maybe that job gives you a lot of money. You're not going to be fulfilled in that job, so they take the job away from you. Same thing with a person, same thing with a job, same thing with anything that you choose in life. If it's not good for you, they're going to take it away, and you don't see that right now, but that's the comedy behind it. It's the fact that you can't see it right now, but you will maybe one day, and that's what they're hoping, that you will see it one day the way that they're seeing it, but you don't. And that's what they're trying to say, like the abundance is supposed to come from within. It's supposed to come from what your soul is kind of yearning for, or what your soul calls you to. And right now it's just all been about ego. So this death and rebirth is going to rock you, because I think a lot of the things that you were clinging onto or what you were aligned to have nothing to do with actual soul, you know, being fed. And that's why this doesn't feel good right now. But yeah, that's what I'm getting. Scorpio, I love you guys. I hope that this helps, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.